Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, the word on the street is that Showtime is going to continue to work with Luis the Cubist and Samson Boxing to keep Showtime Boxing rolling, and they're not going to work with Al Haymon no more. So they say Al Haymon pretty much out of boxing, but I just got a couple questions I want to, kind of give to y'all on that note. But let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We go live or drop a video. So pretty much that's why you've seen Samson Boxing card and the Fondora and Luis the Cubist card, in November that just passed with David Morrell, right? So, in the Frank Martin card, he fighting a Michelle Rivera, and I think he's a Samson fighter. I could be wrong. I believe he's a Samson boxing fighter. So, it seemed like, Al Haymon is handing the keys over to Samson and Luis the Cubist. Now, Luis the Cubist work over there at PBC. Allegedly, he's a matchmaker over there, but also apparently he's a boxing promoter. And I believe Luis the Cubist is also Caleb Plant's promoter or manager or something like that, whatever the hell he is. And he's also Samson has been a Benavidez's promoter as well too. So it looked like to me that that's what they're gonna carry on with. So I don't know what the majority of PBC fighters who ain't signed to them, those contracts is gonna be rolled over to Samson, rolled over to Luis the Cubist. And then the other question too is that I have, if that's the case, is Al Haymon still gonna be managing and advising the contracts? He's just not gonna be the guy in control, a la like a Daniel Kinahan, and where MTK Global, he didn't have nothing to do with it, but he's like this secret advisor that's really, making the moves, but MTK is the front. So is that going to be the case, is where Al Haymon still managed the fighters, but he's still in control, but Samson and Luis the Cubist is just the front man? Is he just going to be or is he just going to be advising the fighter still, and he just going to cease control? Or is he going to be just done all the way around? So that's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question. Is he done all the way around? Or is he still going to be the guy in the shadow, still kind of pulling the strings, making sure his fighters get the most money they can get? That means guys like Tank and Gary Russell and whoever ain't signed Luis the Cubist and Samson Boxing, do they contracts get rolled over in them, or they get advised to sign with them and Al continue on? Or do they contracts, Al just say, hey, go get what y'all can get? And I'm pretty sure if that's the case and the gig is up for Al, some fighters that ain't as big or as, not as, wanted, is probably going to be able to go out there and do, what they want to do. And that's going to be with Eddie Hearn, or that's going to be able to get fights here and there and remain a free agent. They're probably going to be able to allow to do that. So, but, what I'm hearing is he got one foot in and one foot in, pretty much out the door. And Luis the Cubist and Samson Boxing is going to carry it on. So, until you out of boxing, you out of boxing. So I don't know if he's going to be pulling strings in the shadows and still running stuff in the shadows. What happened to the PBC employees? I mean, or do they, I've been hearing people that work over there that the average, most of y'all know, was losing properties and losing restaurants, and the money was depleting over there. You heard stories and shit like that. You heard the stories. So you definitely heard the stories. And a lot of people was waiting for the DOA, the death on arrival date, for PBC. That's what they was waiting on. Hear the rumors, the money, the purses going down, the guarantees going down. The networks want to stop putting the money up, and Al Haymon has messed over every major network. You got to remember, it's ESPN and it's Viacom. He worked on both. He worked on both. I mean, he was on NBC as well. So NBC, Peacock, NBC Sports. He took NBC Boxing from Kathy Duva and started putting fights on there. Kathy Duva had a really good thing going on there. She had the Shaq over there with HBO and Top Rank for a while with Kovalev. So, I mean, you gotta ask yourself. That's the most interesting thing about it. What's it like if they gonna carry on? How long they gonna carry on? And you know, and it's just temporarily. I mean, people going crazy. They announced Frank Martin and Michelle Rivera. That's a solid fight, but I don't think that's gonna like have people stopping in December, stop them Christmas shopping, or stop them, you know, working extra hours to make sure, you know, whatever they got to do, put them last couple dollars on them checks before the end of the year. I don't think nobody gonna stop and drop what they doing to watch Frank Martin and Michelle Rivera. You know, so it ain't gonna be a big you know, promo push for that neither. It's not. And they're gonna continue to see the numbers. You gotta ask yourself too. That's a question I had. Did they have to put on Michelle Rivera and Frank Martin to meet a minimum with Al Haymon in the boxing deal? So there had to be a minimum in there where they had to reach, or he probably was entitled to more money or something, or fees, or whatever. So there had to be a minimum fights that they had to put on for Al Haymon. Gotta understand the deal's up January 2023. So was there a minimum fight that they had to, you know, get to? You know, obviously they were saying Errol Spence was gonna fight December 17th. Who knows what's going down? You know, Errol Spence, he could say, "Oh, I want to fight Keith Thurman," but everybody need that check before the end of the year. Who will want to fight 2 times in a year? No matter if Charlo made $10 million in bonuses versus Castanos in the second fight, why wouldn't he want to come back towards the end of the year, squeeze a fight in, and then the beginning of next year get another fight in? That just didn't make no sense. Think about it. Your average basketball player can't go a month without missing a check. Your average football player can't go a month without missing a check. They live check to check like we do, most of them. Financial literacy is not something that they teach in school. A lot of people, financial literacy, they put the money in other people's hands to manage the money. A lot of times they pinch off the money and don't even know it. They're not even smart enough to have somebody audit the person that's handling their money. You always do that. You know, that's what Tyler Perry did. He found out he was owed, what, $600,000, $500,000 from the IRS, fired his whole accounting team. Think about these dudes that's living life, got 2 or 3, 4 women, and, you know, got kids, baby mamas over here, and they got a place in Texas, a place in Miami, a place in Canada, a place in New York City, a place up there in Southern California, Northern California. They all over there, and you got all this business and all that. He managing this property. I'm paying him to manage this property. I got 10 cars here, 5 cars there, 9 cars back home. Take care of my mama, take care of my daddy, take care of my cousin, take care of my auntie. You got that all going on. How can you really sit there and focus? Plus, you got to, you know, perfect your craft. How can you really sit there and focus on a person that's handling your money? Of course, they pinching off your bag. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they pinching off your bag. Of course, they doing foul shit with your money. Of course, you owe more money than you getting, and they taking advantage of your money. You know, of course, they not going to tell you, well, you got to tie your money up in this, that, and the third. Financial literacy is something that you got to go out there and learn for yourself. Instead of handing your family members money, you show them how to, you know, how to invest the money, how to start real estate, how to start business. You know what I'm saying? You show them how to do that first. So they don't have to ask you for no money. So, of course, but yeah, so many questions that you have about the situation. And obviously, someday we're going to find out. You know, right now, like Samson and Luis Cubas getting all the dates. And they fighters are getting the fight dates. So, you know, we got to see kind of what happened there. But if Al Haymon is ceasing control and handing over control to the fighters to them, they can't be promoters and, you know, managers at the same time. So are we advising these guys to sign these contracts? You got to think about how the whole play worked for Al Haymon. He's everything. We all know he everything. So they're paying a promoter fee to Samson, whoever the promoter, TMT, Mayweather Promotions, Luis the Cubas. But not only on every fighter, every time a fighter fight, he getting a fee off their purse too. He getting around between what? They say 10 to 20%, 10 to 25%. So every time they fight, he's getting 10 to 25% of the check. Cause we got all Al Haymon fighters, you know, fighting on the card. He getting 10% for, let's say, the main event card. He getting 10% for 4 checks, at least. So think about that. 10% of 4 or 8 checks for 4 fights. 80%. He getting 10 from this, got 10 from that, got 10. Come on, he doing that every fight. And allegedly, he taking the boxing budget. Dude, it's the greatest finesse. If I'm taking the boxing budget, they paying me a lump sum of less $60 million. I'm pocketing it. Espinosa paying the purses. I'm getting money out the purse. I'm getting money out the gate. I'm getting money out the concessions. You know, I'm probably getting money out the promoters. Dude, he getting money from everywhere. I probably got the TV rights, some of the TV rights. No, he gonna make passive income off TV rights and shit of that nature. Think about that. We making the most money from anybody on an event, more than the promoters, more than the managers, more than the fighters, more than the trainers. He making out like a fat rat. He knew at one point the gig was gonna be up, and he can always fall back to music. He making out like a fat rat. At the end of the day, can't be mad at it neither. Lesson learned. His blueprint was unique. And if somebody else could have thought of it, Don King would have did it. Bob Arum would have did it. De La Hoya would have did it. Floyd would have did it. It's the biggest finesse move in probably in this business history. It's a huge finesse move. So that is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link inscription. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole 9. Appreciate the love and support. Check out the Box Room playlist. Peace.